What's going on, guys? Today I just want to talk a little bit about how I got into watches. You know, it's not like I bought a Rolex or whatever to pretend that a Rolex was like this superpower being. It doesn't work that way. A lot of people get confused about what spending that kind of money on a wristwatch means. I mean, you are buying a piece of art, and you do not get good art cheap. There's a lot of other watch brands that pretend to look like Rolexes, and they're cheap. They're cheaply made. It's all Chinese movements. You're not getting Swiss movements with these kind of watches. You're not getting gold from the watches. You know, the bezel of this is gold. The center links of this watch, they're gold. They are 18 karat white gold. And I wanted to tell you guys how I got into watches. Like, what made me want to spend a lot of money on a wristwatch like this one? What made me want to buy a white gold Rolex Datejust that tells the time and tells the date? Why would I want to do that? Well, you know, my father had a Rolex, and it was his dad's. And when his dad died, you know, my dad grabbed that Rolex, and it was a Datejust. Now, it was a two-tone Datejust, and my dad ended up just selling that. He had a panicked moment in his life, and he had to sell that watch to keep surviving. So he sold it. So I wasn't getting it anymore. Now, if you guys are interested, you can go way back in the channel, and I actually did showcase the watch that I purchased, that two-tone Datejust. I showcased it on this channel, and I did dig it for a while because that was me correcting a mistake that was made in life. You know, that was me having a look at things and saying, no, I'm gonna take that Datejust because that was supposed to be mine anyway. You know, and it felt good to get it, but it wasn't really the Datejust that I was supposed to get. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't my grandfather's watch. And this Datejust is much more me. This Datejust is just, I like this one so much more. And I got lucky falling in love with something like this because this watch's price has continued to rise a bit. It's, you know, a lot of the older models of the Rolexes have stayed way high on the market. They're just incredibly high. And that's just Rolex being Rolex, I guess, right now is the best way I can put that. If you have a Datejust or a Submariner or a GMT Master 2 and it's 2010 or earlier, it's probably increased, what, 50%, if not 100%. This watch has, again, it's more than doubled since I got it, okay? Now that's great, but that's not why I bought the watch. I didn't buy it because it's this heap of money. A lot of people buy things that are worth a lot of money and they put them in a box somewhere, and that's where it stays. Now, against what I have said in a past video, the brand new GMT Master 2 that I own is still a brand new GMT Master 2. I have not worn it. I've worn it one time inside one place, but I could easily sell this as a brand new Rolex GMT Master 2. And this was almost like a trophy for me. This was like getting something that I never really got. Yeah, and if you know the scoop, if you know the YouTube channel, you know that I had a GMT Master 2 already before this one. This is just the newest Rolex GMT Master 2. It has the updated movement, and it's just incredible to me. That updated movement, as soon as I got that other GMT Master 2, guys, like as soon as I got it, they said, hey, we're getting new movements on the GMT Master 2s. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. And I, you know, had to hustle a bit to grab this one. And then I got it, and I talked about, and before getting this one, I did talk about how, hey, nobody should buy a watch and not wear it. But hey, I mean, this one, I just haven't worn. Maybe one day I'll wear it, but I haven't worn. But going back to the story here about my dad and not receiving that watch and then buying that watch, you know, that watch wasn't what it was supposed to be. And then I definitely fell in love with watches. And you guys know, come on, how easy is it to tell the time today? You know what I mean? Your phone has it. Everybody has the time. Nobody needs a mechanical watch to tell time. A watch is a piece of art / jewelry. The movement that is keeping this Rolex Datejust running right now is a piece of art. And as that art gets more rare, and as the art gets better, you know, the Rolex Datejust, I do have that SKX 007, that Seiko. Well, guess what keeps better time? The Rolex Datejust, by far. And I love the SKX 007. It's a fantastic piece. Look at this. This is a fantastic piece, and you can see it's running. You can see there's a mark right there on that bezel insert, and this is running because I wear this watch. It is a fantastic piece of art. Okay, it is a piece of art, is what these watches are. And yeah, I enjoy the Rolex Datejust as well. This is a piece of art. Owning a watch is just owning a piece of jewelry that you like wearing. It's owning a piece of art that you like wearing. And when you wear it, you get to enjoy it a bit more. You know, if I put on the GMT Master 2, it's quite I mean, it's amazing. It's not even running, and this watch is still amazing because I know what it's made of. I know how it is built, how it is prepared. I understand the quality of timekeeping the watch has. And stuff like this is just incredible. These are incredible purchases. And again, yes, the Seiko hangs in there and stays in the game in this one, okay? The Seiko stays in the game because this is just a running piece of art. And what bothers me with some of these other watch brands is that all they are is just a way to cash in on cheap stuff. So it's, let's get the cheapest quartz movement we possibly can, and we're gonna put it in the most giant, ugliest case that we can possibly get our hands on, and then try to sell that as some kind of piece of art. That's not art, that's garbage. That is garbage. These watches are pieces of art. And that's the big difference, I think. Again, when you get into wristwatches, you're getting into art. And the more you get into the art, the higher you want the art to be, the better you want that art to be. I have a friend, he's a great friend. He's got one of these Seikos and he's pumped because this thing did go way up in price since it came out. He's pumped for that. But you know what? If he had an extra $15,000 laying around, he'd have a Rolex. There's no doubt he would have a Rolex. It's not even in question that that man would own a Rolex. But right now he can't afford a Rolex. And that's okay. Not everybody can afford a Rolex. Not everybody is even supposed to be able to buy a Rolex watch. That's why they become incredibly hard to find. They are incredibly rare. You know, you can walk into any authorized dealer, any authorized Rolex dealer, and they're gonna have a ton of Rolexes sitting around. Okay, but you're very unlikely to run into a GMT Master 2 just sitting there for sale in this condition, or in two-tone with the gold, or the ones in solid gold. It's just unlikely. Now, will that change? Is that possible? Is that something that might change? Yes, that could change. But let me tell you what you're not gonna find. You're not gonna find this bad boy because they don't make it anymore. And that is why the value has increased, is because they don't make it anymore. And if you guys understand the luxury watch hobby, you understand that they only make so many of a watch like this per year. And yeah, it sounds like a lot. I mean, I think Rolex makes 1 million Rolexes a year. Well, guess what? There's 8 billion people on planet Earth. Do you understand how many years it would take Rolex to make one watch per person on Earth? What is it, like 1,000 years? I'm not very good at math, but it is an incredibly long time to make one watch for every person. And that's just one watch. That's saying that they're gonna make one of these, and they're gonna make one of these, and they're gonna do, if this was another Rolex, they're gonna do one of those, etc. That's all that is, okay? That's all that is. Once a piece of art is rare, people want it, and people enjoy it, and it becomes rare, and it becomes valuable because people love the product. They love the watch. I love this watch way more than I like that two-tone Datejust, and it's done nothing but good things for me. But if it didn't do the good things, and let's say it just dropped 20%, like if you bought a brand new Samsung TV right now you bought that television, you could sell it the next day and lose, what, 10%, maybe 20%. If this watch does something like that, I still won't care. Eventually the movement is gonna need service, and I'll have to pay for that, and that is what it is. But having the watch go up in value as much as it's gone up in value, I can't sit here and say that I'm upset that that happened. That's amazing. That's buying a piece of art and then watching that piece of art just more than double in value and still kicking it around. Box, papers, everything. It's amazing. This guy, that guy, all three of these guys, I could have brought more watches out for you guys to see, but all three of these are fantastic pieces of art. And again, I have to pick it up again. And the Seiko is as well. It is a fantastic piece of art. It's also a rare piece of art, and being rare, the value of it will rise. So that's definitely a rambling video that I had to make for you guys. I went old school on the background here. I think a lot of you guys just like seeing my videos, and I appreciate that, and I'm gonna try to pump them out pretty much best I can. But I mean, how great is this Datejust? This is amazing. With the gold in the middle, and no one's gonna look at that and say, oh, hey, you're wearing gold. You put this on your wrist, and no one's gonna think you're wearing some watch that's worth $7,000. No one's gonna know that. No one's gonna care, because you're just wearing a watch, But in my eyes, I am wearing a piece of art. Guys, I appreciate you watching the video. I really do. I know I'm not putting up the content as much as I used to, but things are complicated in my life right now. And let me tell you, I didn't name the channel so my life would turn out that way, okay? And one of these days, you're gonna get to hear the whole story. You will hear the whole story of what is happening. I can't promise it's gonna be soon, but keep your fingers crossed that it will be soon, and I will have an incredible story for you guys.